Hi, and welcome to The Journey's Real. See, it's episode 7. I missed last week, so I'm glad to be back. My name is Sheila.
I'm Janet.
Marianne.
Tammy.
Brittany.
And Stacy.
Janet is our special guest tonight. She's my
Hi.
big little sister.
Yes.
And she is a cancer survivor, so we welcome Janet to the show.
Glad you could be here, Janet.
Thank you, ladies. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I am a 24-year survivor, ladies.
Woo!
My journey started on my 40th birthday. So long ago. Technology wasn't as good as it is these days. There's a lot more hope these days than there was back then. They tried work. If it hadn't been for my sister, they was going to remove the wrong breast, the first surgery. The cancer was found in the left breast instead of the right. I opted for reconstructive surgery, and they did a transplant on me. They pulled the muscle around my back, and the implant didn't want to stay, and they kept on tacking it up. And the third time he tacked it up, it broke through my cleavage. And I said, the hell with it, just take the damn thing out and take the other one off.
Just take the damn thing out.
So
That's not what you said.
I wear boobs in a box.
They look great, by the way.
They really do.
Thank you, lady.
Can you do whatever size you want?
Yes.
Oh, that's even
Yeah,
better.
you
You can
What
change.
size would you like this week, honey?
Yes, you can. And I have some information for you all later on in the show about that. But it's sweat and bullets every year. But again, technology is so much more advanced today. Mary, it's going to be okay.
Marianne.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's really a good time to have my sister on because Marianne, as we all know, that she has told everybody that she's also going through having breast cancer, and actually tomorrow is her surgery.
Right.
And we all know you're going to be just fine. You're going to,
Yes,
you
you
really are. It's going to be good.
It is.
It's going to be different.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. It's not the surgery really that I'm anxious about. I think it's the journey after
Mm-hmm.
afterwards. So tell us about how yours was after.
Well, I felt empty. You know, part of me was gone.
That's the real part of it.
That's the hard part of it. But once you pass that initial hurdle and you realize life is good, hey, you got it licked.
Right.
I had radiation. She went to one of my treatments with me and tore me up. They put her in protective gear and let her stand in the room while I was taking my treatments. She was standing over there crying, and it just tore me up. And I'll never forget that day like it was yesterday.
Every step of the way, I was there with you.
Yeah, she was.
Every step of the way, I wouldn't have been anywhere else. I've experienced cancer in so many different ways.
Oh, yes.
This was my first experience, was with my sister, and it was emotional. I was just young. She's 14 years older than me, so
Yeah.
she's always going to be older than me. That's what I always say. But anyway, yeah. So we had some adventures. We got lost downtown quite a few times. Went up the wrong street the wrong way.
Everybody's done that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Almost
those
got hit by a
one-way
bus.
streets.
I almost got hit by a bus. That was fun. But yeah, I've got many stories on her transition from having her mastectomy done. She had one done first, and then years later,
And then the implant caused the problems. It was 2 years later.
yeah, 2 years later is when they thought they found something else, and she was like, Psst, we're not even gonna deal with it after
No
that.
biopsy, no nothing, just take
No.
the darn thing off.
Yeah, she was done. So,
At that point, you're like, I'm not playing this.
No,
No, I have no
anymore.
regrets either.
Right.
I
yeah,
have
because
no regrets.
back then they didn't give you the option if they want to take both at the same time.
No, they didn't, and they literally butchered you back then.
Yeah, she didn't have very good doctors.
No.
Well, and now they have the skin sparing or nipple
Oh, I know,
sparing
they've got some
procedures and
nice
stuff like
things.
that. Yeah, it's a lot different. Come a long way.
You know, and Stacy being another breast cancer survivor, so she's gone through a lot of what Janet went through, but at a different level and a different. Her experience was a lot different than what Jana said. No experience is going to be the same.
Oh no, absolutely not. That's why we call it the journey's real. It's because everybody's
Mhm.
got their own cancer journey.
Mm-hmm.
And add to what you said about feeling empty. I'm going to share a little bit about my message. I was thinking about Mary Ann was on my mind last night, and I kind of shot her a little message and said, you know, I know that today and tomorrow evening when you're alone or quiet, your thoughts go crazy and you may cry and you're scared and it's okay to grieve your breast. I mean,
It
because
is.
they're a part of you, and whether you breastfed your children or not, there's still you held your children against them, and they're very intimate, you know. I mean, that's what you share with your spouse or your significant other, and I mean, they make you feel like a woman, regardless of your size. So I was like, I don't know that I necessarily felt empty, but I definitely felt the loss of a grief of losing them. I told her, I said, I even sat in the tub and hugged him like the night before. He really been good boobs, except for you. You were bad. Now they're both gotta go, you know. You kind of like cradle them, you know. I mean, they were mine, but
Yeah.
these are mine too. They're just different, you know.
They're
But
just
yeah,
different.
they're just different. They're okay though.
The emotional roller coaster is the whole thing that, you know, I've listened to like Stacy talk, and I haven't heard how yours is. And I kept thinking, you know, I'm gonna be fine. This isn't bothering me. It's just another day in the life of Mary Ann. And then yesterday it just kind of bottomed out.
And you're allowed that.
Absolutely.
You're definitely allowed that for sure.
You're out. Get angry, get mad, cry, scream, whatever you have to do to release it.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean
Drop
that
into
you
the
were
well.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you're weak, does it, at all, or
No,
that you're
it really
giving
doesn't.
in? That's part of the fight, is to let those emotions out and to deal with them, and then you find yourself, pick yourself up, and you throw on today I did it, threw on my Eye of the Tiger, and I was like, yeah, I'm a warrior, I can do this.
That's
You know,
right.
I mean, still do it to this day, is to pick yourself, you learn to do that, and that find that strength in you, and keep right on going. But yeah, all warriors will fall to their knees and cry and be pissed off, and yeah, I've been through those emotions too. So yeah, don't beat yourself up when you feel that way or feel like I was so positive, I was doing so good, and now I'm a blubbering mess. And no, that's still part of it. So yeah,
It's
definitely.
absolutely 100% natural. 100% natural.
Yeah, it is.
Now, did you go through chemo as
I
well?
went through radiation. I lost some hair up here, and I don't have to shave my armpits no more, ladies. Because of the radiation.
That might be a benefit.
There's a benefit. Yeah, if you think about it, that's beneficial.
And because of the way the surgery went, I can scratch under my arm and feel it in my elbow
Mm-hmm.
Really?
because of the nerve damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have to shave under this one. I still do under here sometimes, but yeah, or wear deodorant, because you don't have those little. Matter of fact, they kind of tell you don't bother wearing deodorant because you don't
Really?
have those little scent. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, you don't.
So did they
Yes,
also
no.
take your lymph?
Yes, I took my left hand and my left arm.
Oh, yeah, but this is the good one though.
That's
You
a good
might
one.
still
Right
smell-
now.
Oh my God,
Oh,
are
God.
Up close and personal.
That's
as far as any medical needs that I have to have, I'm only allowed, they can only take blood pressure and blood out of this one arm
Because they took your lymph nodes
because they
away.
took the lymph nodes.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Mhm.
Right.
Well, that's something I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I knew everything about you.
Ha,
Ha.
not everything.
I see she's like me. I don't wear my band that I should wear that says no sticks and no BPs in this arm.
I
Now, if I
have a
go in the
medical
hospital,
bracelet.
they'll throw
Oh,
a
yeah.
bracelet on there.
She had a medical bracelet for a long time and she lost it.
I'm afraid, and I haven't bought a new one, and I've got the money. There's no excuse why I shouldn't.
Yeah. I'm
I
a bad
guess-
girl. I don't
Guess
put
what
mine
the
on.
little
I
sister's
should,
gonna
but
be on your butt
You
about.
should put it on.
yeah, because like I went in to get my vaccine, my COVID vaccine, and I said, yeah, I'll have to have that in the left arm. And then I sat down in the chair and said, oh, wait, no. It's got to be in the right arm. It's like, I got confused there for a minute. That would have been bad.
Yeah.
Now, why
No.
would it have been bad that you couldn't get your COVID shot in that arm because?
No sticks, no blood pressure
But
on the left arm
what will
because
it
of
do?
lymph nodes. Well, if there's trauma to this arm, being that we've lost lymph nodes there, you could
Mhm.
get a lot of fluid in your arm. And here's how I explain lymph nodes, what lymph nodes do, is they send little garbage trucks like to go down into your arm to pick up the fluid and the garbage in your arm, and then they run it back up and your body gets rid of it. Well, we have fewer trucks, so they can't go down and clean all this stuff out. So what can happen is if you get
Interesting.
trauma to this arm,
That is really, and I'm visualizing little trucks.
I know, yeah.
It's like one of those cartoons in
Yeah.
school.
So it could close the road, so the few trucks you have
Yeah,
can't get rid of your garbage,
right.
and so then your arm would permanently be
That's
like
interesting.
swollen, or
That-
your hand, or
That's a
Yeah.
really cool way to explain that. That's
I-
very
I-
interesting.
I was told if they took your blood pressure or blood out of your arm, it would cause lymphoma.
right, which
Mhm.
is
Which
when
is
your
the
trucks are they close the road,
Yeah.
and your trucks can't.
Your trucks
You don't
can't
have
get
enough
there.
trucks to get rid of it. Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly. So excuse me, when I had my reconstruction done because of radiation, my vessels in my chest wall were fried when they went into a deep flap. And after 3 times of trying, they said it was like angel hair pasta trying to sew together these vessels. But when they would try to sew it together, my vessels in my chest wall would just crumble, just like dry spaghetti. So they would try it, and then they'd listen. Nope, no pulse. So the 3rd time, I was really losing a lot of blood. I'd had 2 big surgeries back to back in less than 24 hours. So the doctor's like, this is going to be life-saving. And I'll never, ever, ever forget it. Is I'm riding down the thing, well, here we go again to the operating room. And they wheeled me in, and there was a resident there that worked underneath my doctor. And real quick, he says, and the guy's trying to put, the anesthesiologist trying to put the oxygen mask over my face. Well, I'd had so many surgeries back to back to back, I started getting like claustrophobic. And I didn't want that. I was like, you better be ready to put me to sleep before you put this on my face. I can't stand all these people around and you're tying down my arms. And so he's tying down this arm, and he says, worst case scenario, he said, we'll have to take vessels out of this arm to put it in your chest wall. And I said, no sticks or blood pressure or cuts on this arm. You can't do it. And he goes, and this is worst case scenario. Shh, puts the mask on, done. I'm nighty-night. When I woke up, my arm in my hand was the size of a softball. And I looked at my hand and I cried and cried, and I said, I just gave up my arm for a breast that I don't even know if it's going to work. And this little occupational therapist comes in, and she gave me little exercises to do, like bear claw, duck, all these little things. Well, I had nothing else to do other than to lay there. So buddy, I was constantly working. Plus I'd had kind of lymphedema in my chest and the skin before, so it would make it hard to heal. And so I went to see a specialist for that. And she would show me how to work that fluid up, just to constantly move it, and how you could open this through here to make a path, clear the path for the fluid to go out. And it actually goes out like around your belly button. Anyway, so I would sit there all day long working my little hand and doing these little puppet the hand puppet thing she told me to do and sit and work that arm. And it's fine. I've never had an issue with it since then. The fluid went
It's
down.
amazing.
Felt very
Good.
lucky
Yeah.
that it did. And yeah, got my little scars here they
Mhm.
actually took vessels out. So, and it made the flap work. So they, like I say,
Yeah,
they
that's
could do amazing things these
Mhm,
days.
mhm.
So did anyone else in your family have breast cancer?
No, I was the first and
Only so far.
only so far.
In
with
the immediate
breast.
family, we've had aunts on.
Yeah, we've had aunts and cousins and such had issues with that, but
Mostly on mom's side of the family. I don't think that
yeah,
anybody on
there's
dad's side of the
no-
family.
Nobody on dad's side of the
Of
family.
course, we're just now reconnecting with a lot of dad's side of the family, so it's hard to really know. It's really important to know your family's history on both sides. And people don't really realize that. And I didn't realize that until after we got older, that it's extremely important to know your mom and dad's siblings and what's going on in their life. And, because it all branches back, the buck doesn't stop in one place.
Yeah.
Right.
It branches out, and it's kind of aggravating that, we had to find out on our own on a lot of things.
Did they do genetic testing on you?
I'm sorry?
Were they doing genetic testing when you were diagnosed?
Oh,
So
no,
it didn't have any-
they didn't do genetic testing back then.
No, they had no way of knowing how. I did the genetic testing
Mhm.
because, I had to do so much after she was diagnosed, and I was really, really young. So we had already, of course, I went over that before that, I had to find ways of being able to get my mastectomies at a very young age.
Your mammograms.
Mammograms.
Mastectomy, mammograms, my bad.
So how many years later did you
Mammogram.
get the genetic testing?
Actually, it was just last year.
I was gonna
That I
say,
had it
'cause
done.
I know they didn't have
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, so mammogram. Sorry, y'all. Mastectomy on the brain today.
Understandably so.
Yeah, mammograms. But anyway, I was a very young age when I had to start those. So yeah, but yeah, last year, and they said that it was not the cancer cells was not genetic.
It's a good
But
thing.
still, it's still important to know family history.
is very-
Yeah.
Even though our mother ended up with intestinal cancer, dad esophageal cancer, Nathan with the type of cancers that he ended up with,
Mhm.
it just,
You do have a family history.
We do
Uh,
have a
so-
thick family history of
Mhm.
it's different types of cancers.
Yeah.
Because we didn't until my grandma, she got diagnosed with lung cancer. And you guys don't have anybody on your.
Not on my side that I know of.
Yeah. See, I mean, it doesn't
then
have to be
My
genetic.
brother-in-law, he had liver cancer.
But it doesn't have to be genetic.
Yeah.
It just could be like dad was in the military. So, I mean, his esophageal cancer could have came from where he worked in the Navy, or in the,
Oh, yeah.
he was not Navy, he was Air Force and Army.
Army.
He was Air Force Army, my bad. And then my grandpa, he had cancer, but he was the one that was in the Navy, and he worked on those stacks inside the boat.
Mm.
So, cleaning the
Lots of-
stacks. So that,
Crud and soot
Right,
and
there's a
stuff
lot
in
of
there.
stuff.
Yeah, that would
Oh,
go
yeah.
into your.
so you never know. But if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, we have our number located at the bottom of the screen today. And if you want to call in, we do have a way that we can talk to you. If you have, if you or someone you know is going through the same as a lot of these ladies sitting here at this table has been through and going through right now, we are here to talk and support, and whatever you need to talk about, we're here.
Any questions you may have, just even if you just want to call and vent, we would really,
Yep, we're here.
we'd encourage you to
Call and show Marianne some love before her
Yeah.
surgery tomorrow. We welcome that too.
There you go. Give her some well wishes. Y'all call in and give Marianne some, because she's an amazing woman. We love her very much.
Absolutely.
She's
Yes,
one
we
of
do.
very blessed to have her part of this group and to call her friend.
That's very sweet. And to tell you what, I mean,
And
I've
sister.
had so many people reach out and things, sent to me, and even, Norton Hospital today sent me this beautiful cake that I brought over for us to eat.
We're gonna
after.
eat it.
But-
We're gonna eat all of it.
I mean, it's just everybody is just coming out and has been just amazing, and you really realize that even when people have differences of opinion or you haven't spoken to somebody for a long time, when something like cancer comes around, people put their differences aside and everybody joins into. So even though it's a horrible, horrible disease, it really brings people together, I think.
I think that's because everybody has been touched in some way,
yes.
shape, or form.
Yes.
If you haven't been through it, then you know somebody close to you that has been through it. And that's where it's just this, it's probably the biggest support system that you could have, and you just don't even know that it's out there. That's one of the reasons why we're doing what we are doing.
Yeah.
It helps out a lot when you got somebody to talk to about it.
It
Right.
does.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you don't have the support, please call us, let us know, send us a message. We'd be happy to support you in your journey. I was talking about how cancer affects you and people kind of being a healing thing. I always think to the Tim McGraw song, Live Like You Were Dying.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, I gave forgiveness that I hadn't before. That was me. I don't know. It would be a drive to work, or I want to drive somewhere, and I would think of some in the past of somebody I had a beef with for years or whatever, and think, I need to forgive that person. You know, this is silly. This is real. This is life or death.
Right.
And some of my thoughts were, Lord, don't take me yet. I'm not done. All of a sudden, I wasn't done being here. You know, that's the
Right.
thoughts that were run to I'm not done yet. I still got things to do.
Right.
And that was one of them, was to forgive people that I had a beef with that didn't need to even have a beef with, you know.
And the beauty of things. You see so much more beauty in the world. I mean, just the drives that you go on, you see the trees blooming, or just any little thing. You start realizing how beautiful it is.
With all the adversity and craziness going on in the world today, people being offended over everything and this and that. I remember when I went back to work after my cancer journey, and there was a young lady who would fuss and have a bad day if something was up with her hair, this or that, and lunch wasn't correct. And they're like, somebody said one time, Stace, how do you do it? I never hear you complain about stuff like that. And I said, I know what a bad day is. If my lunch is correct or not, that's not a bad day. You know, I'd have to catch myself, because I'd say, I want to say, really? Get over it. This is not a bad day. Let me tell you what a bad day is. And I'd say, you can't go around everybody in the world telling them what a bad day is. You know, keep it to yourself. They'll learn. You just worry about, But yeah, but I found myself wanting to, I'd say, you appreciate things more. Less things get to you.
Right.
You know, for the most part, I can be a pretty positive, pleasant person. Also, that doesn't mean I don't have a bad day or get grumpy or whatever. But
I thought it was really great that you just brought up that song, because no one sang it better than Randy Napier.
Oh yeah, my cousin Randy, if anybody remembers him.
Yep.
He's my cousin by marriage, or he always will be. You know, he had a very positive attitude.
He really did. He
throughout the
really
whole-
did.
But he was always like that.
Yeah.
When I first met, Webb, Randy was one of the first people in the family that I met too, and me and him just really connected. Did you all meet Randy?
I don't think so, no.
They didn't get
He
to-
was just somebody that was just incredible. But my mother had passed away. And so Randy called me on the phone and he said, "Hey girl," he said, "I didn't want to bother you. I was just wanting to know, is it okay if I come to your mom's funeral?" And I was like, "Well, Randy, you're my family. Of course it's okay." So we talked a minute, and then he hung up the phone, and then he calls me back because he knew I was having a bad, time with this.
He was such a
Then
great
he
guy.
calls me back and he says, Hey, baby. I said, what? He said, can I bring a date?
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, all I could do was laugh because that was,
How romantic is that?
and he would do stuff like that just to make me laugh, when he knew I was down about something, and I miss him.
And what was his cancer?
He had stomach cancer.
He had stomach cancer.
Oh.
But that song, he did everything in that song. He
Mhm.
rode a bull named
He
Fu
did.
Manchu. He did.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
He
He
sure
jumped
did.
out of the airplane.
He
Yeah.
did. He did. He skydived. He
Yeah.
did. He did it all.
And when
He
he
just lived like he
skydived,
was done. Huh?
no, he was little bitty when he did the skydiving. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
lost
was
so much weight.
tiny. I do remember that.
And I remember right before we found out that he had it, we were at Longhorns. And me and Wib had gone out with some friends of ours. And of course, Randy was the type of, he wanted to go.
He was
just
gonna go.
invited himself
Right, mhm.
again. And we knew that. And so we're sitting there and he kept saying, every time I eat, I just get really sick. And I can't keep anything down. And I said, well, maybe it's your gallbladder.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up being stomach
Stomach
cancer.
cancer.
How old was he?
He was 49 when he passed away.
So young.
But he was so much larger than life. I mean,
He
before
really
he
was.
was sick, he was so much larger than life.
But he took all that negativity and made it positive. He had always had such a positive attitude, and a lot of people, he was one of those people that taught you don't give up, regardless of where you're at or what's going on. Don't give up. Just keep moving and keep going, because at some point it's going to be okay. He had that mindset. It's going to be okay. He was going to be okay.
And the laughter. I mean, he
Mhm.
even carried around cards with him that said, "Hi, I'm Randy. I have cancer."
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. But Janet had some things she wanted to share.
Yes, ladies, there's help out there for us. There's an organization called My Ladies. It's spelled MILADYS. And I'm on Passport Insurance. If my insurance will cover it, I'm sure yours will too. Here's a place where you all can get a set of prosthesis. Your insurance will cover it, and every 2 years you'll get a new pair. It's located, excuse me, at 1169 Eastern Parkway, Suite 2200, and the zip code is 40217. Now, on this other, it's with CancerLink. Just ask for Melissa when you call. They're based in Frankfurt, and you call them, and they'll send you 3 brand new prosthetic bras through the mail. You wait 6 weeks later, you get 3 more. That'll see you through a while, until you need new ones. And all you gotta do is call again.
And their number is?
And their number is 859-309-1700.
And
I'm
also
gonna write that
information.
down because that's something that we certainly need to share
Yes.
Yeah.
more than just today.
CancerLink is actually going to come and set up at Cancer Fest this year.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So yeah, they actually came, was it 2 years ago, with some informational stuff for CancerLink. When Janet first started going there to get her bras and stuff. So they came out at our bike run out at Wibbs, or no, it wasn't the bike run, it was the music. It was the, yeah.
When and where is Cancer Fest this year?
It is at the Hillview Government Center on Crestwood Lane out here in Hillview. It was a 283 Crestwood Lane in Hillview, Kentucky. On September 11th, we are honoring Chief Rob Orkes this year. We're going to donate to Crusade for Children in his honor. We're also going to do it in memory of my brother Nathan Peebles, and we are going to donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital in his honor, and Kendall and Friends in honor of Jesse. We are going to give to the playground again this year. Last year we were able to give $3,000 to the playground, so they're still building that up. They have a certain amount they have to get to before they can break ground. So we're almost there. So and then the rest is going to go to help cancer patients for Ride to Ride Out Cancer. And what we do is we help people with their mortgages, their utilities, rent, basic needs, water bill. We also have a food pantry. So if there's anyone out there that needs help, you can just get a hold of us through ride2rideoutbreastcancer@gmail.com or ride2rideoutcancer. Gmail, is that a Gmail too? At gmail.com? My husband's like way over there. So John Casey, our fearless leader who has done this since 2014. I married into this and it was the biggest blessing ever because my heart had been touched by cancer as well. We are,
Well, also there's a form that they fill out. if
yes,
they need
yes,
help.
yes, yes. There's forms to fill out. You can't just come up to us and say, hey, I have cancer, give me money. First, we don't give any individuals money directly. The way that it is done is we pay your bills. So if you need help, you come to us and say, hey, we're having a rough time. Can you send me the information? We can send you the application and the information that is needed. And then we go by when that comes back. If everything checks out, then we can pay your bills for you. You just gotta you gotta give us copies of your bills that you need help with and need paid. And then that's how that works.
That's a huge help.
Yeah, we will never, and that's the part that people don't understand. Like, why can't you just give me money directly? It doesn't work like that. So I write out checks, and that way I have that as a receipt and the receipt from the bank statements and all of that, so we can keep up with all of that for the organization's sake. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Carney's Motorsports. Carney's Motorsports will give Ride Out $300 if you mention Carney's Motorsports when you go get a car from them. Go buy a car
Nice.
today.
Yeah.
Today, go see them.
Where is Carney's? Where is Carney's?
Where is Carney's?
Bardstown Road
Bardstown Road
and Preston Highway.
and Preston Highway. Go buy a car today at Carney's.
Talking about ride out, buy cars, it doesn't matter.
Just mention Ride Out.
And then we also have a Queen of Hearts draw on Wednesday nights at Danny's Place, located at 2858 Kentucky 44, Shepherdsville, Kentucky. And we start about 6 o'clock on Wednesdays. Come out, there's plenty of food, there's all kinds of stuff to do. Buy you a $2 ticket. We do the draw at 8 o'clock. Right now, our current total is $11,660. Woo! With the payout of $5,830. We have only 21 cards, 21 cards left that you can choose from. So, I mean, everybody come out. You can do that, or you can call PayPal.
PayPal.me/Queen of Hearts RTROBC.
Oh.
That is the Queen of Hearts tickets. When you go in there, you put the amount that you want to buy. Then you click that and you'll go to the next page. In the notes, it's going to say notes. You need to put your name, your phone number, and the numbers you choose.
There's only 21 tickets or 21 cards left, so it's getting close.
And each ticket, you can only choose one number,
Yes.
one card number with each ticket.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people get confused about that. 'Cause they
Yeah.
think, well, there's 21 tickets left, so if I pick every one of them.
Then
On
I'm
one
going to
ticket,
win.
no.
So it's just a one ticket draw, like she was saying, and it depends on whose name and what number is on that ticket will depend on if it's a winner or not. And we're still
Oh, and
looking for that
also-
Queen of Hearts.
And also, if you're there
Yes.
and a face card, ace, king, queen, jack, joker, if any of that comes up, but you get $50.
You got to be
If
there.
you're there.
You
If
gotta
you're
be
there.
there.
But if the Queen of Hearts comes up, you got a chance at winning $5,830.
We don't care if we're shoulder to shoulder.
Make sure you have your mask on.
Yes,
That's
have your
right.
mask
Yes,
on.
you do have
Come
to have a
out
mask.
and
Be
enjoy.
in your
Come out and
seat
eat.
or have your mask on.
They have good.
bacon cheeseburgers.
Yes.
So we're always looking for new sponsors. If you want to become a sponsor, you can go to the Ride to Ride Out Facebook page or contact John Casey at 0327. Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
You're fine. I already see that.
Thank God.
Oh,
Oh.
I can do it right now.
what?
And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Journey's Real.
That's right. So I guess that wraps it up for tonight.
Our next guest next week.
Our
Do you have
next
it in
guest, who is our next guest
I
next week?
think
Let's
Sweet.
see, is it, it is, it's Miss Spring Sweet next week.
It's who?
Spring Sweet, she is a very new breast cancer survivor.
Okay.
Yes,
And
she
we
is.
also want to thank Janet for
Right.
coming out and sharing
Yes.
with
Thank
us.
you all. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
for coming
you.
and sharing your journey with us.
I love you.
And we also would like to have everybody please say a prayer for Mary Ann
Mary
in the
Ann.
morning.
Wishes for
Tomorrow's
Marianne
hers.
and Whip, yeah.
Yes.
Because Whip will be just,
Mhm.
you know, he'll be beside himself, so.
She's It'll be all good.
fine.
We got her. We got her.
Are we ready?
Join
I'm
us-
fine, and
join
I
us
may
next
or may
week.
not be back next week for it. I'll try to.
If she's not here next week, she'll be sitting up. We'll just have her watch us.
She can call in.
No, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, she can call in. So join us next Tuesday for the Journey's Real.
Catch up.
And what?
Oh,
Cash
App.
Oh,
Yep.
shoot.
If you'd like to make any donations, you can Cash App, # Ride to Ride Out Cancer.
That's right.
Amen. Okay.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Fuck
cancer!
Yeah, you